I am in love with my teacher, so I impregnated her. I am in love with my curvy, gorgeous, and very beautiful senior higher math teacher, so I impregnated her. After my junior high school, I got an admission to my dream senior high school, and my joy knew no bounds. I was extremely happy because that was my dream senior high school since I was a child. This was because of how well the school was celebrated in the media space, and it's also because very influential people like ministers, members of parliament, and top celebrities have attended that school, and I have always wanted my name to be associated with that school as well. This school was one of the A-list schools in our country at the time, so it was highly competitive to get admission into that school, but I was determined to get there. I was well aware that the only way I could get admission into that school was to learn like my life depended on it. And of course, my life indeed depended on it. So I learned effortlessly, and God being so good, I had excellent results, and that was how I got enrolled into my dream senior high school. My first and second year in the school was absolutely amazing. I enjoyed every single moment in the school, though sometimes the seniors bully us, but hey, that was nothing so much because to me it was part of school life. I really took my books seriously, so I scored excellent grades in all my subjects. In fact, I was one of the top students in my school and in my department as well. So both my parents and my teachers were very proud of me, which I was very much aware of. But all of that was about to change in my final year. When we got to our final year, our math teacher unfortunately died after a short illness. So a new math teacher was posted to our school, and this female math teacher has changed my entire life forever. Her name is Miss Rose. The moment Miss Rose was introduced at assembly as a new math teacher, she immediately became the topic of student discussion because of her striking physical looks. Miss Rose was absolutely beautiful. She was curvy with both front and back. Her facial features were absolutely breathtaking. It looked as though God took extra time to create this woman because she was absolutely gorgeous. At this point in my life, I was in my final year and I turned 19 years. But I look all fully grown up because I come from a family of very tall people. So physically, I could easily pass for a 22-year-old man because of my physical features. When Miss Rose started teaching us, she was loved and adored by most of the students, not just for her physical looks, but also because of how sweet and how patient she was with the presentations in the class. Miss Rose was so patient and had time for all students in the class, and even the slow learners learned to love math because of her. But as for me, my admiration for Miss Rose was beyond just student-teacher admiration. I completely fell in love with this lady, and all I would do all day was to admire her beauty and dream of being with her in my fantasy world. My infatuation of this lady was so bad that it began to affect my studies negatively. I know many people would scold me and asked me to concentrate on my books. Of course, I tried. I tried so hard to forget about Miss Rose, but the harder I tried to forget about her, the stronger my feelings for her grew stronger and stronger each day. I even prayed to God to help me to forget about her, but the feelings just didn't go away, so I felt I should rather get close to her. So I joined her class of students who were struggling in math. I remember very well that she told me I did not need that class and that support because I was a very good student. But I insisted that I wanted to be in that class so that I could see her beautiful face every single day as much as I could. So 3 months were final year exams. It was Miss Rose's birthday, so I decided to buy her some gifts and I sent it to her bungalow. But unfortunately, when I got to her bungalow, she was terribly ill that day. So I volunteered to buy her some drugs for the pharmacy. And after that, we became very close. I would then visit her from time to time, and she was very professional with all her dealings with me. So all our conversations were purely about school-related topics. But I have discovered that Miss Rose was such a deep sleeper because anytime I visited her, it would take her a very long time before she would come to the door and open it for me with the explanation that she was deeply asleep, and that was why she was not able to come to the door immediately in order to open it for me. So I decided to play a dirty game with my sweet Miss Rose. So one day, when I decided to visit Miss Rose, I bought some sleeping pills and added it to a cup of ice cream that she loved so much, and I sent it to her. She never suspected anything because I bought that ice cream for her several times anytime that I happened to visit her. And while I was with her, she ate all the ice cream, and in no time, she fell asleep deeply. And that was how I had my way with my sweet Miss Rose. And in order not for her to suspect me, I made sure that her clothes were in place before I left her bungalow. But the following day, I didn't see Miss Rose in school, and my heart was jumping from left to right. A whole week went by, and I didn't see Miss Rose at school. At this point, I was really scared and I didn't know what to expect. Then one fine Friday evening, one of the students told me that Miss Rose was around and wanted to see me. Oh my God, at this point, I didn't know what to expect, and my heart was beating faster and faster and faster. When I got to her bungalow amidst fears, not knowing what to expect, she calmly told me that she traveled to her parents' place and that was why she wasn't in school. She went further to ask me why I didn't wake her up when I was leaving her place when I last visited. She said she had a feeling that someone came to her bungalow, but she refused to give me details about her suspicions. But strangely, 2 months after my encounter with Miss Rose, she sadly disappeared and never set eyes on her ever again. I still went ahead to complete my school and left that school, but still haven't heard of the whereabouts of Miss Rose. When we asked the other teachers about why she stopped coming to the school, we were told that she had taken a transfer to another school, but they claimed they didn't know which school in particular because she didn't give them any details. I subsequently went ahead to go to university, and now I am taking care of my late dad's businesses, but I have still not seen or heard from Miss Rose until this year when I attended a wedding ceremony of a friend of mine. During the reception, a friend that I attended the wedding with asked me to turn around and look at my look-alike. I was expecting to see an adult look-alike, but when I turned around, it turned out to be a very young boy. We quickly called the boy to come, and when we asked him who his parents were, it turned out to be that her mother is my own Miss Rose. At this point, I was shocked. I was amazed. I was surprised and confused at the same time. But before I could have an extended conversation with this boy, she quickly asked the boy to come, and they went to sit in the car and drove off quickly before I could think of what to say or what to do next. I am 100% sure that boy is my son. I later did my investigations and got her number. But the moment that she realized that I was the one on the phone, she quickly dropped the call and blocked me everywhere. I later found out that she's married now, but what I don't know is if she has given my child to her husband or if she has other children. Why is she avoiding me? Did she find out that the child is mine? If yes, why didn't she look for me to tell me? These were some of the questions that were raging in my mind right now. All I want is to be in the life of this child, if indeed this child is mine. And I strongly believe that this boy is my son because the resemblance and the coincidences are too good to be true. What are the measures or what ways do I go about finding my Miss Rose? And how do I convince her to allow me into this child's life and to tell her how sorry I am for everything? Oh, my Miss Rose, how do I find you? Please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share this story with your friends and loved ones. Thank you very much for watching, and thank you so much for supporting this channel. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.